For much of last season, there was a buzz about Arsenal potentially winning a quadruple. We all know how that one turned out. This year, Kai Havertz has already boasted that's exactly what they're trying to do. After a 4-1 pre-season win over Girona, Havertz declared they want to win it all this season.
We want all the trophies. That's what we're here for. And I think we missed out on a lot the last couple of seasons. Obviously, we won the Premier League now, but there's a lot more that we can do. And we have to reach another level to make that happen, because we know how long the season is. We know how hard it is to go through the competitions, and we want to do it better again this year and make things happen again.
Having won the league last season, you mentioned this to me in the break. Do you think it's more emphasis on the Champions League this time?
Possibly, without wanting to obviously downplay anything else around it. Possibly there will, within the camp, that little bit of extra determination to try and get over the line in the Champions League. They'll be right in there again. Champions League is such fine margins, those matches, when you get to the quarters and the semis of those games, you can be in pole position with 10 minutes to go and go out. It's very, very difficult to absolutely guarantee anything at that level and that stage of that competition. They're the team to beat in the Premier League. I think the squad, I just looked at the squad again, Jeff. They've got so many good players. I mentioned to you about William Saliba obviously being out for a bit, not sure, a back injury, and backs can be a bit weird. You can feel like it's all clearing up, then all of a sudden something doesn't feel right again. They can frustrate you. But they've got Nketiah, they've got Calafiori, they've got others that can all play alongside Gabriel and cope admirably in that position. Still got, as far as I'm aware, unless I've missed something, but they've still got players to cover pretty much every position, every eventuality. So they're in great shape, great health. And if they get another big one through the door, another real top draw player, and I'm not sure who that is and in what position that would necessarily be, but I think if they sent a message in that respect, oh, wow, they're going to take some stopping.
Well, obviously, it looks like Bruno Guimarães is going to be through the door.
He's the one. Do you like him?
I love him. I absolutely love him.
I didn't like his silly run-up for Brazil on that penalty when he missed it, which they're all daft, those, we know that. But he's a good player. I really like him because he can operate deeper or in the 10 position. Do you think Odegaard's position is, especially when he's a skipper, he's captain?
Sure.
Do you think that is seriously under threat?
I think he's seriously under threat. And although he's a very different type of player to Bruno Guimarães, I wonder how many games Eberechi Eze is going to start. They have a lot of matches. And what Kai Havertz is talking about winning all four, he's banging the drum. He's being asked a question.
Of course he is.
What's he expected to say?
Yeah.
But from Mikel Arteta's point of view, I don't think he'll care. Winning four, that's not what's on his mind.
No.
Winning the Premier League's on his mind.
Yeah.
And winning the Champions League. Those are the two things that, to me,
yes.
are on his mind.
No, yeah, without question. And he's absolutely got everything at his disposal to make that happen. Again, I think they're the team to catch and to beat in the Premier League. And I wouldn't bet against them again in the Champions League. They went so close. And I think as a team and as a club, Arsenal have been very close with the Premier League over the last 2 or 3 years. And often it's the case, it seems, that, you hear that word suffering, have to suffer a little bit. And certainly they suffered, Arsenal, in terms of Premier League over the last 2 or 3 years. But last year stepped up and hung in there and got it done and deservedly won it. And I think they're going to be very difficult to deny again.
Here's an asked question. Look, we talk about Bruno Guimarães. Looks like he's going to be through the door. There's been so much speculation about Vinícius Júnior. If you're an Arsenal supporter, how much do you want Vinícius Júnior? And I say that in the sense that, to me, I look at Arsenal, proper unit, lot of good players in there. Vinícius Júnior would arrive as a superstar.
Yeah.
The superstars had plenty of issues in the past as well, and I wonder whether his presence at Arsenal, not all those issues, by the way, were of his own making, I should say that. But I just wonder whether you might destroy that sort of unity, that togetherness.
Very true. It's very true, Jeff. And you know what? That's always the danger with players coming through the door. Everyone thinks, oh, great, we've done. But if the balance just gets tilted a little bit and things go out of kilter, you can lose a bit rather than gaining. Look, I personally think... I don't think it's going to happen, and I think that
no, I don't.
The comments we've heard from Vinny Junior's representatives today would suggest that if there was anything happening or was there any conversations out there, that they pretty much probably stopped and dried up. But I actually would love to see him come here, and I think he could do very well, Vinny Junior, at a club like Arsenal.
Yeah.
I look, Bukayo Saka's their best wide man by a distance in terms of being productive. He and didn't necessarily see the very best of him in the summer, perhaps because his of fitness issues. I think he's a wonderful player, I really do. But I like Martinelli. Noni Madueke, the end product bit for him is the bit he's got to find a little bit more of. Certainly no fault in his commitment, his effort and his desire to want to try and do it. He just doesn't produce like some of those other guys. And I from what I saw of Vini Júnior playing for Brazil again, he was the only striker to me that ever looked like he might do something for him in a Brazil team, Jeff, that quite frankly was average. But I would really love to see him ply his trade in the Premier League, and if it was at a club like Arsenal, I think it would only make them significantly stronger. I really do.
Who do you see as the principal challengers to Arsenal?
I'm fascinated by what's going to go on at Liverpool. Fascinated there with how Andoni Iraola gets a grip of that team and what he can put into it. You know, what he did at Bournemouth was exceptional. Brilliant network of scouts and the way that they acquire players and turn 20 million players into 50 and 60, 70 million players within 18 months. They do it brilliantly. But I'm really intrigued to see how he's going to get that lot going. Isak last year was a problem. Obviously it was, you know, he came in with such a fanfare and behind him and everyone expected him to be so good. And obviously the injury that he got scuppered his season pretty much. So you'd like to think you're going to see a completely different Alexander Isak when the season gets underway. No Mo Salah, they haven't got those numbers to rely on anymore. Others have got to step up, but I don't know how long Ekitike is going to be, Jeff, before he's back. I'm thinking sometime yet, because I did like a lot of what he was doing, but I still think Liverpool are really interesting to see if Iraola can just inject something else into that group of players and into their game. And again, I know they lost. Was it last night, that game against Leeds? Forget about pre-season friendlies. Honestly, don't read too much into any of that. But I'd love to think he can develop a Liverpool squad like he did the Bournemouth one, because they were wonderful to watch. Really, really good, really exciting, really getting the ball forward, getting those forwards involved in the game, fast, aggressive players, what everyone wants to see. And if they return, I think, a little bit more to that, which was Klopp-like, then I think Liverpool could have a really strong season. They've still got a lot of very good players that they have.
Graham was a Chelsea fan, says, you talk about Arsenal with new signings running away with the league. If they get these players in, rewind 12 months, you were saying the same about Liverpool. Look how that worked out. Yeah, I get that, Graham. I'm not sure it's, because it happened with Liverpool doesn't mean to say that it's automatically going to have the same impact on Arsenal. And they've not brought in a lorry load of players, by the way, either at the moment. What about the two Manchester clubs?
United, again, I'm expecting United to be. I like the look of Cunha, of Mbeumo, Šeško. I like those guys. I think and Bruno playing as a 10. To think that Ruben Amorim was playing Bruno as a holding midfielder was like, sometimes mind boggles at some of the decisions some coaches tend to make with certain players. Playing Bruno as a 10, who was very quiet, I thought, at the World Cup, Bruno Fernandes.
Yes, he was, yeah.
And I don't know whether he had the ump with Ronaldo and the whole Ronaldo scene that was going on about, him wanting to still lead the line and still continuing to lead the line. Whether Bruno, I don't know, I just got the feeling body language-wise that wasn't great in that Portuguese camp. But I like him. And I think when he's playing in his best position, he can be very, very good. And I think those three guys that they've got up front, I think there's every chance that they could be really productive together. Again, there's been talk about some left-backs coming in at Man United. Lewis Hall's name's been mentioned, one or two others. So there's clearly positions that they're looking to improve and strengthen. But no, I think United, again, Jeff, should be absolutely in the picture from start to finish. They shouldn't be. I don't think we should be seeing a Man United team 10th in the league by the end of September or early October, something like that. I think they need to be in that top four from the get-go all the way through.
Need to get one or two over the line, don't they?
They do. They do need to get.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Andy. Great show as always. I think Arteta could be one of the first managers to be sacked mid-season. That comes from Tommy, who is a Spurs fan.